Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator of human race. And among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. Yes, it is I, your wonderful host, Rod, coming to you live from my bunkerized home studio somewhere within the great granite state of New Hampshire. Yes, cheer for New Hampshire. It is where the state motto is still live free or die. It is not big government or bust. It is Thursday, October the 25th in the year of our Lord 2012, as we roll along, getting ever and ever closer to the wonderful election. I think it's going to be a wonderful election. I really do. It is going to be something that won't be forgotten anytime soon by either side, whoever wins. I don't care. Well, if Obama wins, we're not going to forget it. It's going to be a long time because we're going to feel it. We're going to feel the negative effects, so we're not going to forget that election anytime soon. And if Romney wins, again, we're going to feel the effects in a positive manner. We've already forgotten what it was like to live under Ronald Reagan. So I guess it wouldn't be, once Mitt Romney is out of, once he's elected and he serves his, 2 terms, because I'm sure he'll probably run for re-election. Once he serves his 2 terms, just like Reagan did, it won't be too long before we forget the good times. Because we'll hear the left talk about all the little people that are left behind. Look, there is just no way ever that 100% of any country's population is ever going to totally benefit from any type of economic activity. You're always going to have those who fall through the cracks. You're always going to have those that are going to sit back and do nothing and want others to take care of them. That is just the human condition and human nature. But you will find that the vast majority would rather get up every morning with a smile on their face and go to work and do something for themselves and their own family and not depend on somebody else. That's what builds strong nations. That's what built this nation. Look, it wasn't government. See, I don't know how many times I'm going to say this, but you know what? I'm not going to say it again. What I'm going to do, and I have never, this is a Rod Eccles Show first. I have never done this. Not because that I couldn't, because I could have in the past, but I have never played a clip of myself from my show on another show. But this is the first time, because I have it uploaded on my website, and I've gotten a lot of feedback on it. And believe it or not, rather some surprisingly positive feedback from people I know to be liberals. So what I'm going to do, instead of trying to say this again, I'm going to play the clip that I call Battleship. It's about 15 minutes long, but I'm going to play it again because I know a lot of people probably still haven't heard it. But I'm going to play it again so you can hear what I said about the American people. And this is in relationship to the movie, the major motion picture, Battleship. And yeah, it was kind of hokey, the movie. It wasn't, it was kind of entertaining. It wasn't the greatest, action-adventure movie ever made. But there were some truths in there that I don't even think Hollywood was aware of, that they put this type of stuff in a movie. Because they don't believe this about the American people in general. Liberals don't. But in the movies, they do. And in this movie, they proved it. Just here's the clip. I'll let me explain by letting me talk. Here's the clip. Clip begins now.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator. And among these,
This is an unedited clip, folks. Good evening, my fellow Americans. Yes, it is I, your lovable host, Rod, coming to you live from my bunkerized home studio somewhere within the great granite state of New Hampshire. Yes, where the state motto is still live free or die. It is not big government or bust. Yes, we don't have a number this evening for you to call in, but we will on Monday, October the 15th, beginning at 7 p.m., here on the Conservative Broadcast Media Network, here on Spreaker.com. Yes, Zinc Media is going full out with the CB Media Network as we go full on, all good. Last night I watched the movie Battleship. Now, I liked it. I mean, I wouldn't have been happy if I would have paid like $10 or $15 in the movie theater to see it, but as a Netflix movie rental, or as a Redbox movie rental, if you go to get it at Redbox or something, even $4 at Blockbuster, your local video store, is fine. It was entertaining enough. I liked it. It made me feel good. And the reason why it made me feel good isn't because of the story itself. I mean, supposedly it's based on the Hasbro game Battleship, and I loved playing Battleship as a kid. I haven't played that game in years and years, but it's a fun game. And as far as a movie, there were aspects of it that they did try to bring up that grid type of thing, the aspect of, B9. You sunk, I think you sunk my battle, that type of thing. But And it looked like that they tried to do this, it's your turn to fire, now it's my turn to fire type of thing. They tried that. But what really made me feel good, now I know it's not plausible because they used the USS Missouri. Now the USS Missouri, if for those of you who don't know, and there's probably many of you don't, is the famous World War II battleship that General Eisenhower accepted full and unconditional surrender from the Japanese of World War II. Excuse me. Now, the USS Missouri is a storied battleship, much like the World War II USS Enterprise was a storied warship. I mean, here they brought this thing, it's a museum now. Its cannons can't fire. I doubt its engines could really muster that thing up to full steam, although they do have, the engines still work. But I doubt, in order to help move it around when they need to move it and take it into dry dock and things like that. But they didn't have it. There's no ammo available left for this. I mean, this thing, what did it have, 16-inch? I mean, these shells were 1,000, 2,000 pounds a piece. They were huge. They don't have shells to fit this. I don't think we have shells anymore to fit this thing. And I know they don't have the old powder stuff laying around because, that over time that stuff deteriorates and becomes dangerous and can explode at any time. But it's same with the munitions. I mean, sometimes munitions can be dangerous too. They get rid of that stuff. But they had some left on board. And they got rid of all the museum hokey pokey stuff. And within a very short time, I mean, they had a bunch of the ship is analog. I mean, today, it's computer driven, and all our men and women of Navy. I mean, these people, you want to talk about some well-trained and well-disciplined people. They are absolutely fantastic, second to none. But when it comes to reading analog gauges, when you're used to electronic HD gauges, it's something totally different. Now, the other thing is that they had all these old Navy guys. I mean, these are old guys, long retired. They tried to make you think that maybe they were possibly from World War II. If that was the case, then these guys would be 80 and 90 years old. So not the case. But anyway, they had these older Navy guys. A whole bunch of them came, and in a matter of hours or so, they got the old Missouri up and running to be battleship shape, and they loaded those guns, those 16-inch guns, and using old-fashioned techniques like with the dropping the anchor and turning the guns in a certain direction. They use old-fashioned techniques against this. Obviously, the alien enemy was far more superior, had superior firepower and everything. But they brought those big guns to bear on the enemy, the alien enemy ship. And I got to tell you, if you're sitting in a movie theater, I bet you heard cheering. I bet you heard cheering when those guns dropped their 1,000 and 2,000 pound shells on the hull of that enemy ship. It made you feel good. Because it was the United States, in a movie, however, but it was showing the United States at its best, not because we have the best equipment, but because we were creative and had the most determination. Now, if you've ever seen any historical film or data from World War II, and especially in the Pacific, you know that we were outgunned, outclassed, and outmanned in the Pacific by the Japanese early on in the war. But holy crap-oly, man, did we put a whooping on them with one freaking aircraft carrier. The Japanese had better aircraft, the Zero, than we did. They had better ships. They had multiple aircraft carriers. We didn't. They had multiple battleships that were battle ready. Ours were still being refurbished and lifted from being sunk in Pearl Harbor. We didn't have a Navy. It was a sheer determination, imagination, and guts of the United States that persevered. We had the freaking Japanese on the run. They couldn't understand it. They couldn't understand it. I mean, Yamamoto said, I don't, this was a bad idea.